You want to fight, bro?
Yeah, the Fight Bros podcast. 2, 1.
What's up, everybody? Fight Bros Podcast number 17. We're here on December 8th, 2019. As always, I'm Marcus Burks, and this is Albert Walters.
Hey, guys. Happy to be here as always.
Yeah, man, it's been a minute since we made a video.
Yeah. We kind of took a bye week. That wasn't really planned, but
Yeah, hey, that's all right. But we got a lot of stuff to talk about today.
we had UFC on ESPN 7 last night. Think we've got a pay-per-view next weekend.
UFC, man, on Black Friday they just said, you know what, we ain't giving y'all no specials on shopping or nothing, but we're just gonna load y'all up with a bunch of fight announcements.
Yeah.
So we got a bunch of fights to talk about.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Did ESPN even do like a $5 for 3 months or something like that? Like you see some people do. Like some people on these streaming services will do that, like Netflix and Disney Plus. Maybe.
I don't think so, but they should, because really, you're just with the ESPN Plus, like you're getting some fights, some college basketball games, not really no pay-per-views. So.
Yeah, nice.
But and last night was the first night we've had UFC in 3 weeks.
Yeah, we've been on a dry spell lately.
Yeah. But that was much needed.
I think so too. I think the fights are kind of getting bland.
Yeah.
So
it was hard to fill out cards and stuff, and
yeah, we weren't really getting great material out there. So but we took 3 weeks off, and now we've got incredible fights coming up.
Yep.
Especially next weekend.
Oh yeah.
So we'll get into that later. UFC 245. We'll get into that later. Is your mic on?
Yeah, it's on.
Oh, okay.
I was just adjusting.
I thought you were messing with the on button.
Oh no.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, let's dive into it. So let's talk about last night.
Yeah, so last night we had UFC on ESPN 7 in Washington D.C. Just gonna talk about one fight. It was the main event. We got Overeem versus Rosenstruck. I believe that's how you pronounce his name.
Struick. Rosenstruck.
Yeah, I watched. Last night I went and watched the Bristol Lights, but I ended up getting home and watching the round 4 and round 5. Dude, this was a pretty good fight. I hear from start to finish. Rosenstruck is ranked number 11. Overeem was ranked number 6. Kind of had big implications for both of them. If Overeem won this fight, he's one fight away from a title shot. He's made it known he wanted another title shot before he ends up going out. And Rosenstruck, he is an up-and-comer. He's been knocking a lot of dudes out. He made it known that he wanted Ngannou if he won this fight. Dude, interesting play of events that went down too. Overeem was dominating this fight. He was up 4 rounds to 1 going into the 5th. Rosenstruck was winning the 5th. He was going to win that one. They already gave him that one. The judge or whoever makes that clap that we got 10 seconds to go, you can tell Overeem's a little bit gassed. 4 seconds left. Rosenstruck TKO's Overeem.
Yeah.
Overeem was winning the whole time, man.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking for Overeem.
Yeah, and it was also controversial because if you look at it, Overeem didn't really seem like he was knocked out.
Yeah, that was the thing.
So, that was a pretty controversial call last night. So what happened was Rosenstruck, with about 10 seconds to go, hit him.
Or it was 4.
Well, no, like 4 seconds was when they called it. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So
I think you're correct, yeah.
Yeah, so with about 10 seconds to go, Rosenstruck hit him and knocked him against the cage, and he fell down on the ground, correct?
Yep.
But then got back immediately. But for some reason, the ref called it. So it was a pretty controversial call with only 4 seconds to go.
Yeah, and I know Overeem put on Twitter last night, he didn't agree with it. He said he thought it was a quick stoppage.
Yeah.
Which I think the ref tried to justify the stoppage. He said, because when he got knocked against the cage, he sat down on the ground, but he jumped up immediately to let him know he was okay. Because I do believe if Overeem would have got up from that and the ref wouldn't have called it, Overeem still would have won. because of the way that the fights are scored.
And only 4 seconds to
Yeah,
go.
and that one knockdown in one round doesn't mean nothing when Overeem got you the other 4 rounds.
Yeah.
So, and when he ended up getting up, he jumped up immediately, and the ref said he stumbled. That's why he called it. I think he was just running to get to the other. He was just running to protect himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know what you're saying. That ain't right. That ain't a good reason to call it because they stumble. People stumble all the time.
I mean, it sucks. 'Cause just for me personally, being like opinionated about it, like Overeem, he's probably my second favorite heavyweight under DC. So I wanted to see Overeem win. That kind of sucks.
And it's funny, Rosenstruck called out Ngannou because
nobody calls out Ngannou.
And also, you barely won. Like, don't act like that's like a real win, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's controversial about the ref's call, it's kind of hard to say that you won that fight indefinitely.
Yeah.
Now, like if you were killing it the whole time, like Overeem was killing it the whole time, and you know if it would have came down to decision and Overeem won, that would have been a win. But you can't like hit a guy once, make him stumble, and the ref call it, and then go, "Oh yeah, I won that fight." Like maybe on the scorecard, but not on the scorecard. Maybe on like the actual. Here's how many fights you've won.
Yeah.
That'll go up one, but you didn't really win.
And this was Rosenstruck's first time really facing somebody that had experience and knew what they was doing. They said last night this was the first time Overeem had been past 4 rounds, and this was the first time that Rosenstruck had been past, I think, 2. He usually knocks out everybody, and then you come and face this guy that's had like 56 professional fights.
Yeah.
And it's tough, but he got it done, and he called out Francis. He said he wants to make a quick return and fight Francis. Dana White supposedly said that Francis is headlining a card in 2020 in France. So they're going to go to...
France and Francis.
Yeah.
Or Francis and France.
Yeah. So that should be a good one. I don't know who... I know Francis has been calling out Alexander Volkov. I don't want to see that. I feel like that's a terrible fight for Volkov. I feel like he's going to get... It's just going to be a quick fight.
Yeah.
I don't know how Rosenstruck would do with Francis. I mean, they're both kind of like knockout artists. So I think in that sense it'd be a good fight. But I don't see Francis being challenged again until he gets that Stipe fight again, maybe.
I think Stipe would be a good challenge for him.
Even if, let's say, DC wins, he's going to vacate the title, you know. So that Stipe fight. Stipe's most likely, unless Jon Jones moves up, even if DC wins, let's say DC wins and he vacates the title, Stipe's going to get the title right back if Jones hasn't moved up yet.
Oh, yeah.
So we could be seeing Francis versus Stipe down the road, and I really think that that's going to be Francis's chance to show that he's more than a knockout artist. Because, you know, as we seen in that first fight, Stipe took him to the ground, really took Francis off his game, and that was the first time we've seen Francis struggle in a while.
Yeah. I'm excited. I hope we get to see Francis and Stipe again after the Stipe and DC fight. So, but coming up in January 18th, we've got Conor versus Cowboy, and we kind of predicted that was what was going to happen.
Just that fire we was talking about. UFC had to hit us with all of this at one time on Black Friday.
Yeah.
They was like, we're going to give you this.
Oh, yeah. So
us fans are just loving it.
Oh, yeah. So we have about 5 weeks until, I think just one day less than 5 weeks until that fight. That's going to be exciting, but that's kind of really the only fight on the card. But they decided to fight in welterweight, and why do you think that is? So that's 170 pounds, correct? Yeah,
170 pounds, and as we know, Conor he made his name at 145, but then he was just fighting at 155, which he needs to stay. His frame is not built to be 170.
He probably walks around at like 175.
He probably does, yeah.
He's a smaller guy.
Supposedly, there's a lot of reasons, a lot of things going around about why he took the fight at 170. I know some are saying and Dana White has reported this too, but he didn't say this is why Conor is fighting at 170. He said Conor wants to fight George Masvidal, which we both know that Masvidal wants that fight too, but Conor's gonna have to go out there and wow some people to
get that fight, because he's been off for a while.
Masvidal is the biggest star in the UFC now without a belt.
Oh yeah.
So you're gonna have to really do something to get that fight.
Yeah, which sucks, because if he does something good, it's gonna be on Cowboy, and I don't want that.
Yeah. And then the other reason is supposedly because he did take this fight on 5-6 weeks notice.
As of Black Friday, it was about 7 weeks.
But he had to have known this was coming. Behind the scenes, he probably knew this was happening for like 9 weeks or so.
Yeah,
10 weeks,
so but that's kind of about the average time for fight camps, isn't it? About 8 weeks.
I think so.
6 to 8 weeks.
But he said where he hasn't fought in so long, he wants to fight at welterweight. This is supposedly reports that he wants to fight at 170 because it'll be easy to make. And then he said that it will be easier to make 155 after he fights at 170. Reports are saying that he wants to make a quick turnaround if he beats Cowboy and either fight Masvidal at 170 or fight Khabib, the winner of Khabib versus Tony. And Dana said that if Conor gets by Cowboy, that he will give Conor the winner.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of messed up to Justin Gaethje, but Justin Gaethje's kind of the odd man out right here. I felt like don't get me wrong, I'm really excited for Conor versus Cowboy. I'm excited to see Conor McGregor back.
I agree, though. I wish it would have been Gaethje and Conor.
Yeah, and I think Conor, he was kind of hesitant to take that fight. I still think Conor probably would have beat Gaethje.
Maybe.
But I felt like that was the fight he needed to take. I felt like Gaethje's one of the most up-and-coming dangerous men in that 155-pound division. Obviously, the two most dangerous men are fighting each other, Khabib versus Tony. Yeah. But Gaethje is that guy that you need to get by to make a statement.
Yeah.
And I just felt like that would have made more sense. But how do you see this fight going between Conor and Cowboy?
It sucks because, analytically, I think we're going to see... I think we're gonna see Conor win, and I don't want that. I really want Cowboy to win because I'm a huge Cowboy fan. I don't want to see him lose. I don't hate Conor. You got a lot of lovers, a lot of haters out there. I'm kind of in the middle. I don't really care. I don't care to hate him. I don't care to love him. I don't want to see him beat Cowboy though, because I'm a Cowboy fan.
That's what a lot of people have been saying.
Yeah,
they hate it's Cowboy.
They hate it's and also it should have been Gaethje.
Yeah,
you're gonna come back. And I think if Conor would have came in, started out with Gaethje and would have knocked Gaethje out in the second round, then he could be like, "I'm back, bitches." Where's Masvidal? He could have done that.
Oh
but,
man,
Cowboy, he's getting older.
Yeah,
and I don't want to see him lose again because he's on a losing streak right now. So now if he wins, because we're gonna be at B-Dubs next week.
Yeah,
and so if he wins, I'm gonna be cheering. I'm gonna drink another beer for him.
Well, this fight ain't next week.
Oh shoot! What am I thinking? That's in January.
You're thinking of UFC.
Oh my gosh, man! Well,
if they get some more fights on this card, we just gonna buy this card.
Yeah. They ain't got many more fights on it as of now.
They're gonna fill it in a little bit.
Yeah, they will. I think the people who are fighting there know they're already fighting there.
Yeah,
they just haven't been announced yet.
Because Woodley's been posting some training videos, and there was rumors that he was gonna face Leon Edwards as the co-main event on this card.
Ooh.
I think they're gonna end up announcing that pretty soon.
You'd kind of have to.
Yeah, and Woodley's been out for a while. He needs to make some noise. I mean,
if he wants to get his belt back.
Yeah, this 245 card's going down this week. Whoever wins, Masvidal's gonna say something to them. He's kind of falling back in line.
Yeah, he's no longer Woodley. He's just another. He's in the mix. And there's a lot of people who's in that mix right now. So.
Oh yeah.
It's not like heavyweight. There's only a couple people there. With these two weight classes we're talking about, there's so many things that could happen.
Oh yeah.
And if you don't keep your name on top, you're just gonna fall back into the middle of it. So
going back to Conor versus Cowboy, I agree with you. I'm kind of in that middle. I don't hate Conor. It just depends on who he's fighting. And I've always told Mary this and y'all this. if Conor's facing Diaz, I'm going Diaz all day. It just depends on who he's facing.
Yeah.
I believe Conor took this fight for a reason.
I think he took it because he thinks Cowboy's going to be easy.
I think he took it because he knows Cowboy just got TK. Cowboy's been knocked out, like TKO'd a lot lately.
And
I know. He's
he's
coming off a lot of losses. I know he had that run at 155. He was about to get a title shot before he got knocked out by Gaethje. But I think Conor and his team know that this is... we know that Conor likes to get in there in the first round and get it done.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to go in these later rounds. We've seen what happened when he went in the 5-round fight with Diaz. It's not good.
No.
The later the rounds goes, the less production we get from Conor McGregor. So that first round, I believe they took this fight, and my prediction on it, I'm going to go ahead and give a prediction right now. I believe Conor McGregor is going to TKO Cowboy in the first round. And get it done. As we've seen in the past, Cowboy does not do good with boxers. Nate Diaz pieced Cowboy up pretty bad. Justin Gaethje's not even a premier striker, and he, you know what I'm saying? He's not, obviously he's got that power, but he's not like a boxer like Diaz and them. And I mean, we've seen that Conor put it on Diaz. Yeah. So we're talking about Conor's pretty much striking with a professional boxer. Like, I just think it's a bad matchup for Cowboy. Like,
I agree, but I'm gonna go ahead and go for Cowboy just because I want to see him win.
Yeah,
doesn't mean he will, but I'm rooting for him because I want to. Yeah. That's my prediction. He's gonna win. don't know how, but that's what I think is gonna happen. Cowboy's gonna win somehow.
Yeah, and
because I think he's tired of losing. I think he's gonna come out and be a different Cowboy than what we've seen in a while.
An interesting take is too. I think this is how Cowboy can win. Obviously, Conor McGregor doesn't have a good ground game. We've seen that against Khabib.
Yeah.
Cowboy has a pretty good ground game. He submitted Mike Perry with that crazy... I don't even know what he did. He had like an armbar.
It was a
weird armbar.
It was weird.
Yeah, it wasn't just like a regular armbar, but he got him in some type of armbar. So Cowboy's pretty decent on the ground.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's better than Conor McGregor on the ground because McGregor, it didn't seem like he worked on that early in his career. So the way I feel about it is like the more experience you have rolling around and wrestling on the ground, like if you've had 7 years experience, you're going to be better than I don't care how athletic somebody is, 1 year of experience. Yeah. That's just a different world down there. So I believe if he doesn't get caught into this ego, but I believe they are. I believe that's what Conor wants. You know, that they both said during that BMF fight between Masvidal and Diaz that they were BMFs. So if they're kind of having that ego right now, they're going to go in there and strike and get it finished.
Yeah.
I just think Cowboy needs to play this analytically and do what Conor can't do.
Yeah.
I think he needs to take him down.
Yeah, and I think we'll see that a lot in this fight. So I'm excited for it. We've got a little over a month until it happens.
Yeah, but they do where we got a little bit over a month, they got to start announcing these fights.
Yeah. I think by this Saturday they'll probably have most of them announced.
Yeah, because it doesn't it's kind of reminding me right now of that Dustin Poirier versus Khabib card. I mean, the main event's awesome, but the rest of the card, you was like, dag, I don't even know if I want to go to Buffalo Wild Wings and watch this. We got to get UFC. We got to get some fights on here. We need Tyron Woodley.
I think we'll see Woodley come out on
even
January
a Tyron
18th.
Woodley co-main event and Conor.
Awesome.
That would even be good. I mean, with an average rest of the card, that would be pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm stoked for it.
Oh yeah, man.
So then we've got a couple months after January 18th. We've got Khabib and Tony fighting again.
Finally. This is the fifth time this fight has been booked.
Yeah, that's... this ain't the fifth time they've actually fought, is it?
No, they haven't fought at all.
That's what I thought.
This is the fifth time it's been booked. Both, I think the first time Khabib got injured, second time Tony got injured, third time Khabib went to the hospital because his kidney was failing because of the weight cut. Fourth time, Tony broke his leg.
Yeah.
Fifth time the best time.
Yeah, fifth time's the charm.
Yeah.
So that's on April 18th, and it's in Brooklyn. So we've got 4 months until, we've got about 4 months until then,
Yeah.
and we might try to go. Kind of depends on pricing.
Yeah, and how they fill out this card. They can get a good card going.
Yeah, well, they've got time to get at a good card.
There's fights that haven't been booked to fill out this card. They haven't booked. Obviously, they're gonna book DC Stipe coming down the road, which we'll talk about. They're gonna book Alessandro versus Romero. You know, maybe they don't need the headline. Maybe let's do like 245 and put 3 title fights on a card.
Yeah.
Obviously, January 18th, we can't put some of these like people on there because title fights, they got to have a little bit more training.
Yeah, of course. I mean, who knows who we would see? It would be incredible if we saw DC and Stipe at that fight.
Yeah.
Then it would kind of be tempting to go to Brooklyn. Like, that's like
definitely.
a 9-hour drive. So.
Especially for DC's last fight.
Oh,
like,
man, that would be so much fun. Now, tickets would be astronomical.
Oh, I know.
So it'd be cool to see it, but gosh, it'd be insane to try to pay for that.
How do you see this fight between Khabib versus Tony going? I know this is really tough to predict.
Well, it is a tough one to predict because we've got Khabib, who is an incredible wrestler, but then we got Tony. He's kind of unpredictable, you know. But now for me, I kind of want to see Tony win. I like Tony more than I do Khabib, and where he's such a dynamic fighter out there, I kind of see Tony coming out on top because I think he'll be able to hang with the wrestling of Khabib, but he'll also be able to throw some good throws.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't really know how this is gonna go, because I believe out of anybody that Khabib's fought, Tony, his ground game is just so awkward, man. You don't know what he's gonna do. He rolls and flips and he changes positions so easy. I don't think Khabib's faced anybody like that.
No, man. So I don't think he has either.
And when we seen Tony in trouble, the only time we've really seen him in trouble was seen him in trouble a little bit against Anthony Pettis. Anthony Pettis is kind of a premier striker though. We seen him almost get TKO'd by Kevin Lee in the first round. Yep. But Khabib is not the striker that Kevin Lee is or Pettis, so I think he's pretty safe on that striking part. It's just going to be, is Tony going to have the ground defense to hang with Khabib?
Yeah, and I really think that's what it boils down to. You know, because Khabib's like an octopus. Once he gets you, man, you're done.
Oh yeah, just strangled, man.
Yeah, you're locked in there. You're toast. So, but now Tony, where he's so awkward, dynamic, and unpredictable, I think he might be the guy to get out of some of those holds that Khabib's doing. So,
have you seen how Tony trains?
Not exactly.
His training is kind of crazy, man. I know one of his training methods, and this isn't how he got hurt for that last fight. He got hurt for the last fight because he was doing some type of announcing for one of the UFC Fight Nights events. He was doing something like that, and he ended up getting his foot tangled in some wires, and he fell off like the stage platform.
Yeah.
So that's how he got hurt for this last one. But Tony always takes videos of him training, roundhouse kicking metal poles, and he kicks them like with full force straight on his shin, and they do nothing.
Yeah,
his shin doesn't bleed, no red marks or nothing. I mean, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, he's a tough guy, man. He's crazy.
Yeah, and he if you watch his methods of training, I mean, I've seen him post videos of him at the beach. He's just like, he put like a Bosu ball buried it in the sand, and he's sitting there like flipping on it, just doing all kinds of crazy stuff. You'll see him, he'll make like a fire, and he's like doing all kinds of like yoga poses over this fire, kicking and stuff. It's just like he's real into meditation. Like, you really don't know what you're gonna get from this guy.
No. Like he's so unpredictable.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes him a good matchup against Khabib.
And I like Tony. Like, I really don't care I really don't care who wins this fight. I like both guys.
Yeah.
Tony definitely deserves it. He's on 12, 13 fight win streak. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, an unheard of amount.
But if Khabib, this is a must win for Khabib. If Khabib wins this, dude, you have a lot of options. So if Khabib wins, depending on where Conor goes, you might have Conor.
You might have Conor
You
again.
might have GSP. And guess
Yeah.
what? There's been talks about it. You might have Masvidal. Masvidal might come back down to one. Masvidal said he wants it.
It's possible,
It'd
but
come back down to
I think
155.
Masvidal spread himself out too thin because he's talking about going up and fighting Adesanya. He's talking about fighting the Diaz brothers. He's talking about fighting McGregor. I think Gaethje said he wants him.
It's that stardom,
and then,
man.
And then going down and fighting Khabib. Like, everybody wants him. And he's just going to take whatever pays the most. But I think everything's on the table for him because it's just whatever will pay the most.
Oh yeah, and he's really got a choice. I believe he's kind of like Conor was back in the day. Like Masvidal can kind of call his shots right here. Like,
yeah, he can. He could say, "I want this person."
I think like whoever wins between Usman and Masvidal, like or Usman and Colby. It's on Masvidal if he wants to fight him or not. Like,
yeah, but if the UFC pays more for him to fight Nick Diaz than he will to get get the belt, he's going to fight Nick Diaz.
Yeah, Masvidal's the A side in any situation, even if he's fighting for the welterweight title. Essentially, he should probably get paid more than the champion for that fight.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, just because of his name right now. Like, everybody wants him.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. But did you ever hear about how he became so good?
With his YouTube street fights?
No. So he was in the UFC and he wasn't as well known as he is now, obviously. Yeah. And so he was still like an okay fighter. But then he went down to South America, I believe. I don't exactly remember where. Went up into the mountains to some kind of shaman, and then that person just made him like do this huge epiphany. And so he was just sitting there thinking, why did I not knock that person out? Why did I not give it my all? And blah, 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 blah. Then when he came back, we saw him a completely different person.
Yeah.
And so then he's knocking out people left and right. Then he gets Askren. The Askren fight really put him on the board. Ever since Askren, ever since the BMF, like, Masvidal's on top right now. Like, he is the face of the UFC. And if they come out with another game, he's going to be on the cover.
Yeah, definitely. He's got to get Fighter of the Year. I know Adesanya's did some stuff, but you got to give it to Masvidal for what he's brought to the UFC.
Oh, yeah, and how can he be the BMF, but not the Fighter of the Year?
Yeah.
So he'll probably be Fighter of the Year, get a nice little couple tens of thousand bonus for that.
Yeah, see, I guess it would be between him, Henry Cejudo, and Israel Adesanya, but I think he's got it all day. If you let fans vote on that,
definitely
he's gonna have. I would say he would have 90% of the votes. It'd be a landslide.
Exactly. So who knows what's gonna happen? It's really in Masvidal's hands. Well, really in the UFC, whoever pays Masvidal more is where we're gonna see it go.
Oh yeah.
So, but then moving on, we have DC and Stipe. That's confirmed. But that's verbally confirmed, so we don't know when that's going to be. Yeah. So that's verbally confirmed with Dana. All they're really waiting on now is to find out when they're going to set a date, like when it's going to be, and that's why I think we might see this in April. That's going to give Stipe enough time to heal up from his surgery, then enough time to train, and if they go to Brooklyn, tickets are affordable.
Yeah,
we're going.
Yeah, definitely.
We're totally going to be there.
I'm excited, man. Like, DC, he's already said this is a retirement fight. Dude, the deck of cards is put on his table. Like, what he can go out on top. He can literally do what a lot of people haven't done.
Yeah.
Obviously, DC's a future Hall of Famer, but you can do what a lot of people haven't done. You get a title shot as your last fight in the UFC. You can win the title and go out on top. I can't think of another way to go out. Most people go out and getting forced out by getting knocked unconscious
too many times. Yeah.
He can go out on top as the champ, vacate the title. I mean, obviously, I think if he wins, people are gonna be like Jon Jones. He doesn't need to do it. You know?
No.
He
Like
he'll be 43 the time this fight happens. So
yeah. And he'll always be an announcer for the UFC.
Yeah,
so he's always gonna have that paycheck.
oh, dude, he's a great announcer. So he's got a ton of career options after. I know WWE already wants him.
Yeah.
Because his buddy Cain Velasquez has done so great in WWE.
Oh yeah.
WWE wants DC.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him over there.
Who knows what in the
He's
world
an
he's gonna
entertaining
do?
guy.
Oh yeah, he's a good entertainer.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to have that finalized.
Yeah, and dude, so the only thing that's holding it back is Stipe had to get the eye surgery.
Yeah.
And what people forget, he has to get that eye surgery because DC, that people try to say eye poke and stuff. DC was beating him pretty bad in that fight up until the knockout.
Yeah.
Like DC was beating him. Well, he got knocked out in the 4th round. DC was beating him. He was winning that 4th round. It was at the end of the 4th round. He was going to be up 4-0 going into it. People forget that DC did not. He went away from his game. You remember he had 2 takedowns in the 1st round. Dude, he was doing awesome on his game plan. He got that ego that we talk about that fighters like to get. Oh, I want to strike. I want to prove that I'm a striker. You know, I just want to see DC win. So I hope for this one he sticks to the game plan because I believe stylistically and in my opinion, both. He's the better fighter.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see it happen. I think with this being his final fight, we're gonna see a different DC, because what do you have to lose? You're out of it at that point, anyways. And so we normally see people in their last fight come out and bring it all.
But
then Stipe, he is also a force to be reckoned with, and I think now that he's starting to get his momentum, we're going to see him be a different fighter as well.
I think Daniel Cormier I agree with you. I think Daniel Cormier is going to be a very motivated fighter.
Yeah.
I know he lost his dad to cancer. He was real close with his dad. The last fight he had with Stipe when he got knocked out. I think he lost his dad like a week before. I know that was probably weighing on him. And his son and daughter and wife, he said he'll never forget them crying because they watched their dad get knocked
out
unconscious. So I think
that's a sad thing to.
I think that's going to provide a different kind of motivation for him too.
Yeah, because as a dad, you don't ever want your kids to see you get knocked out. And I mean, I know he's not getting in a street fight or whatever, but you still don't want to see your dad get knocked out.
Yeah.
Well, if you like your dad, but it's I know that's got to be weighing on him. So I think we're going to see a very different DC. But I think Stipe is going to be training for that.
Oh, I mean, we're going to get the same Stipe. We're going to get the same motivated Stipe. I mean, Stipe's a very good fighter.
Yeah. So I'm excited. Well, then, we kind of predicted this coming up. We've got Corey Anderson and Jon Blachowicz.
This was on the Fight Bros podcast first.
Yeah, Fight Bros podcast.
We said this about a month before it was announced. We said this is what needs to happen. Dana, come let us be on your matchmaking team.
Yeah. We know what we're doing. So we've got February 15th for Anderson and Blachowicz in New Mexico.
This is Corey Anderson versus Jon Blachowicz.
Yeah, I forgot they fought. Yeah. This is their second fight. And now if Anderson gets this, he needs Jones. There's no other way around it. If he gets Blachowicz, wins, it's got to be Jones, because who else is he going to get? Yep. Now, the UFC is probably going to do some dumb stuff and probably get him to fight Stipe or something dumb like that.
No, well, they got to, this is number one contender fight. They got to, because Jon Blachowicz has worked his way up, Corey Anderson. They gotta give the winner of this a title shot, no doubt.
And I want to see Anderson do it.
When is Jon fighting? Is Jon fighting?
I'm not sure.
Him and Dominic Reyes, were they February? I think they were February 8th.
Oh, so Anderson's not fighting on a pay-per-view?
No, they're headlining a fight night.
Fight night? Oh, okay. Oh, that sucks, man. That would have been fun if they were both on a pay-per-view.
I can't remember. But yeah, Jon Jones is fighting. It's either in February or March. I can't remember one of those two dates.
Coming up. Well, then, I wish they would have done that on the same night. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, but Corey Anderson, definitely, I think he deserves a title shot, but he's going to have to come out here and make a statement. I remember the UFC, they try to act like, oh, we know you got a lot of wins and you beat a lot of contenders, but you're not really there with the fans. And,
you don't move the needle.
You don't move the needle.
Yeah.
But that last fight, dude, he was a crazy man.
Yeah, that last fight
Yeah.
put him on the board a little bit, like with the fans.
Yeah.
So, I think if he does that again with Blachowicz, there's no other way he will not. You cannot sit there and say he doesn't deserve a fight with Jones.
Oh, yeah.
So he'll start to move the needle some more. So I'm stoked for that. And that's February 15th, 2020.
Yep.
New Mexico. So that's going to be awesome.
Oh, it's going to be a good one.
So-
It's going to be one of the better fight nights.
Yeah. Then my girl's fighting.
Yep. I'm very excited about this.
Joanna Jacek. Young Jacek.
Yep.
So she's fighting Wiley Zhang. She's fighting Zhang.
We never pronounced that right.
So it's Zhang versus Young Jacek. That's March 7th.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
not a fight night, is it?
No, this is a pay-per-view. They just haven't announced what the location or anything, so I didn't see like a pay-per-view, but that's the date.
Okay. So we've got March 7th as a pay-per-view. That's exciting. I'm rooting for Jacek but I'm always going to be rooting for Jacek.
Oh, dude, I'm always going to go for it. I think this is a tough fight. I think, somebody that Zhang knocked out a knockout artist in Jessica Andrade.
Yeah.
She did her away in like 45 seconds.
Yeah,
Zhang's got
Zhang made
lot
a
of
name
power.
for herself. Yeah.
But
not like Young Jacek.
I feel like Young Jacek, Zhang's got the power. Young Jacek has the experience. She's got the accuracy. She's precise. She might not have the power, but I hope Young Jacek wins. I'm excited about this one. This one's going to be a very good fight.
I'd be rooting for Young Jacek even if she fought Cortez over in China. Or is it not Cortez?
The
big woman.
yeah.
What's her name?
Can't remember her name.
Oh gosh, her last name is.
Talked about her on the first podcast.
We've talked about her on a few podcasts.
Garcia.
Yeah. Even if she fights Garcia,
Yeah.
I'm rooting for her. So,
Well, remember we talked about Young Jacek when one of Amanda Nunes' opponents backed out of fighting Amanda Nunes and they needed to find a replacement. Young Jacek was going to step up and face her. She was going to move up 2 weight classes to fight Amanda Nunes, this monster. Like, you got to respect that.
yeah, she's, incredible person. So, I'm stoked for that. We got 3 months. That'll be awesome.
Yep.
So, then UFC 245
Let's go.
pay-per-view. Now, that's exciting. That's coming up in 6 days, really.
Yep.
So we're gonna be filming live at B-Dubs. Not really.
I think you're gonna be support. Yeah. we're gonna bring our mics up to B-Dubs and do a what's it called?
It's like
a
the
fight
bear
companion.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna be like the bear cave. You ever saw how they do that? They go to McAdoo's.
Oh yeah.
It's like, you want to see that game? Come on down to the bear cave at McAdoo's.
Come watch
the Fight Bros podcast at B-Dubs. Oh, watch us get sued over that. Oh, that would suck.
Yeah.
No, we're only repping them, man. We're just giving them a good name. But no. So we are not going to be filming live. So
Nah.
This UFC fight night. UFC pay-per-view 245. 3 title fights back to back to back. From the main event of the prelims until the main event of the actual fights.
Great
It
card.
is stacked.
They stacked it for us to end off the year.
The year. So who's the main event of the just to put it into perspective, who is the main event of the prelims?
So we got my boy Mike Perry headlining the prelims against Neil. I'm not gonna pronounce his first name.
Neil Yoff?
Yeah. Well, his first name is it
Yoff.
might be Yoff Neil.
Yoff Neil.
So Mike Perry needs this, man.
He needs this, and he needs to win.
I believe he signed a new contract, but Mike Perry's going off a 3 or 4 fight lose streak. But he always puts on exciting fights. I think that's why the UFC re-signed him. And the interesting thing about this Neil guy is he's been knocking a lot of people out. He's been making his way up.
Yeah, he's not been making a name for himself, but he's been moving up the ladder.
Yeah, and I was listening to a podcast the other day that had his coach on it. His coach has like a crazy record. Like the guy that coaches him, his fighters are 16-3 in the UFC.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, he obviously has a good support system.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's insane.
How do you see this fight going?
I'm going with Yoff Neal. Like, I hate to say it like that, but you know, I'm going with this guy. I don't know him, but you know, don't fear what you don't know. I'm going with Yoff Neal. Okay? I'm not going for Perry, which I hate it because Perry's a great fighter. But what are your thoughts?
I'm going with Platinum, man. Platinum Mike
Perry.
Yeah,
well, he's you know, he's the Platinum, so
yeah.
You know, I'm stoked for it. You know, whoever wins, I don't see a real loser in my mind. Like, I think both these guys.
Oh yeah, they put Mike Perry. Anytime Mike Perry's fighting, he puts on a show, man.
Yeah,
Win or
yeah.
lose, you're getting a show.
I'm not upset. Like, whoever wins, I'm gonna be happy for both guys in this case. I don't have much of an opinion on either fighter, and that's why I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
I think it's a good matchup. So then, you know, so we've got Faber coming back. How long has it been since Faber fought? Uriah Faber.
He came back and fought Ricky Simone. Ricky Simone was a up and comer that was getting close to. I believe he was almost in the top 10.
What year was that?
It ain't working too good.
Was that
it
this
wasn't
year?
too long ago. Yeah, it was this year.
It was this year? Okay.
So he's fought this year, and supposedly, I don't know how this is going to work out, but supposedly he said that he's been promised if he wins this, that title fight against Henry Cejudo. That's the only reason why he said he came back. He
Just
said
to fight Cejudo.
Yeah, he said. I think he took about 2 years off, and he said his body felt rejuvenated, and you know, he wasn't training every day for that 2 years and stuff. And he said that that's why he's coming back. He believes he has a title run in him. So.
Nice. Well, I'm excited to see this. So we've got Uriah Faber versus Peter Yan.
I don't really know too much about Peter Yan, but
but I'm going for Faber.
Faber all day, man.
Faber all day, without a doubt.
What's his nickname? The California Kid, like
I think so,
cool,
something
man.
like that.
Yeah.
Like he's chill, man.
Yeah.
I'm going with Faber. So I don't predict how it's going to end, exactly how it's going to end, but with Faber on top.
Yeah.
So, you know, we've got Marlon Moraes.
Yeah, Moraes.
Moraes versus Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo's last fight didn't go that well for him.
Did you see the pictures of Jose Aldo? He's been fighting at 145. He's fought a couple of fights at 155. He believes that he has a 135 title run in him. Have you seen the pictures of him?
He ain't looking good.
Yeah, dude. He
looks
looks like all the
small.
water's already depleted out of his body.
Yeah.
2 weeks before the fight. Like, they posted a picture sometime this week.
He don't look good. He's kind of small.
I think that's a tough weight cut against him, and you're going against a dangerous Marlon Moraes who just fought for the title against Cejudo.
Yeah.
He was dominating Henry Cejudo in that first round. Cejudo was in trouble. Obviously, as the rounds went later on, Cejudo TKO'd him.
Yeah.
But Marlon Moraes is dangerous, man.
Well, that's okay. So that's my thing. If Marlon Moraes comes out and destroys Aldo,
yes,
then how could you not give him a title shot again?
That's where I was talking about the confusion.
I think we're gonna see Moraes and Faber fight.
I don't think Faber wants that, man.
I don't think Faber wants it either. But if the UFC's like, look, the only way you're getting Cejudo is to fight and beat Moraes, Faber's gonna take it because that's how bad he wants Cejudo. Because maybe he was promised Cejudo, but maybe it was.
Oh, we know how these promises go.
It was.
Dana.
We promise you'll get Cejudo, but you've got to fight. You've got to fight Jan, and then you've got to fight the winner of Moraes.
Yeah.
But we promise you'll get him if you beat both of those fights. Now, I think that's the promise. I don't think it's going to be like, oh, okay, you won. Here's Cejudo. No.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see Moraes and Aldo fight. I think Moraes is going to win.
Oh, I think he's going to win.
Without a doubt. Then
I think with how bad Aldo's looking, I think he's going to get finished in that first round.
Oh, yeah. So then I think we're going to see Faber win. Then I think we're going to see Faber and Moraes fight. And then the winner of that's going to get Cejudo. But, so you're going for Moraes?
Yep.
Nice. So.
Amanda Nunes versus the random A.
German de random. Not familiar with how to pronounce that.
This is another dub for Amanda Nunes. Disappointing, Dana. We wanted to see Amanda Nunes versus Cyborg. Give us this.
He kind of pushed Cyborg out of the UFC.
Amanda's already beat Durandame. She's probably going to do it even better this time. This division,
Yeah.
man, it kind of sucks.
Without Cyborg.
Yeah, we need
kind of
more.
depressing,
we need
man.
more dangers in there. We need more.
Yeah.
We need more killers like a Nunes.
Let's like Garcia.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, get
dude,
Garcia,
I would do anything if the UFC signed Garcia.
Yeah.
I would be her biggest fan. Oh my gosh, that would be awesome. But I know we're both going for Nunes in this one. That's
Yeah.
kind of.
I don't
know.
particularly like Nunes, but yeah,
I don't hate her.
I know she's gonna win.
Yeah. So that's kind of that for that,
Yeah.
But now we're getting into the good fights, the co-main and the main. This is what I'm really excited for. Max Holloway and Volkanovski.
Yep. Volkanovski's up and comer. He's beat a lot of guys.
He's been coming up the ladder.
He's earned his title shot.
Ladder. Yeah, but he's earned this. I agree.
He's the only thing about this is Max Holloway's a big 145er. He when they faced off, dude, he's got so much height and reach on this guy.
Yeah.
And I feel like that goes in Max Holloway's favor.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Max Holloway's favor in a lot of his fights.
Yeah, and so that's why I'm going for Max. Like he's a big 145er, kind of like Nick Diaz. Like he's big for his weight class.
It's weird
just because he's big and linky.
Do you remember we saw him? You say he's big for 145. He looks bigger than all these guys. But then when we saw him against Poirier at 155, we was like, "Dang man, he looks small."
Yeah, he looks small. So I think 145 is a good weight class for him.
Supposedly it's a
we're
hard
gonna
weight
see
cut for him, but
supposedly.
yeah.
But I think Holloway's gonna come out on top.
Yeah, I think Holloway's gonna win. I don't know how he's gonna win. I feel like he's gonna win by decision.
I was gonna say the same.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna go to decision, and I think it's gonna be in Holloway's favor. So, but then
That's what we've been waiting for, man.
Here's the notorious fight everybody's wanting.
I think you're gonna be surprised with my take on this, but
Don't you say it. We got Usman and Colby. Who you rooting for?
I'm not saying I'm rooting for, but I feel like the closer as the fight's coming, I feel like Colby's gonna win, man. I hate to say that.
Why is that?
But
Because he's posting cute photos on Instagram,
no, but
flexing.
oh, he's putting on a game, like his whole persona
Yeah,
that he
and
puts on. Is
everybody
a game.
says that. Like everybody says this is just an act.
They
for
try
him.
to say he's such a good human being, and he's just putting on an act, which he could be. He likes professional wrestling.
You know what they said about that? They said Colby was about to get kicked out of the UFC because he wasn't really doing much.
Mm-hmm.
Then he put on this whole act, and it's just pissing people off. And then the UFC was like, "Okay, we're not getting rid of you because it's getting viewers." And so I see why though. Like you kind of hate Colby, like you just hate his arrogance, but it's all an act. So they say he's a real hell of a guy.
We hate you so much that we're gonna buy these pay-per-views and watch you
watch you get knocked out.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, I'm rooting for Usman, but I think Usman's just a great fighter, though.
My take on why I'm picking Colby is obviously his pressure and intensity that he puts on people. He had the most strikes thrown and landed in the UFC in his last fight against Lawler.
But that fight was like a punching bag. Like
Yeah.
Lawler was a punching bag. Come on.
The main reason I'm picking Colby is didn't Usman, he broke his leg against Woodley. I feel like he's coming back too soon for the injury he had. I feel like he's coming back. I feel like he's coming back too soon. That's mainly why I'm picking Colby.
Really?
Because I feel like Usman's coming back too soon.
Do you think Colby's gonna do some leg kicks and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if Colby won, we're gonna get a good fight out of it. Look, him and Masvidal hate each other. Former best friends. They
I thought
hate
they
each
said
other.
they're not gonna fight though.
That's what their coach said. Their coach doesn't want them to fight because he said their coach doesn't want them to fight because their coach knows that one of them's going to go to a different gym, so he's not going to be getting that cash. Because one of them's going to go to a different gym. Because if you're trained by the same coach or if you're trained by the same team, like people's going to see you and your opponent. You know, the head coach of that gym, the owner of the gym, he's gonna see both of y'all training in there. Like, why would people? One of them would have trust issues, with with somebody on that team
Yeah.
giving out information during the separate training sessions. So the coach knows that if they fight, one of them's going to leave that gym.
Yeah.
Maybe just for one fight, but they're going to leave. They're
But
not going to
still.
get paid for that fight. But we also, if Colby wins, this is what I want to see. I want Masvidal to fight Nick Diaz, and if Colby wins and Tyron hopefully fights January 18th, let's get Colby versus Tyron Woodley.
That's what I was thinking. Colby versus Tyron.
That's not a bigger fight than Masvidal versus Colby,
Nick.
but yeah, well, Masvidal versus Colby, that's a bigger fight than Colby versus Tyron Woodley. But Masvidal versus Nick, we need that fight.
Dude, that would be one of the biggest pay-per-views, I think.
Yeah.
It's kind of starting to feel like WWE if they did that.
Yeah.
But it would still be a big fight. So
Because Colby versus Woodley, they have a history. Like they weren't best friends, but they were former teammates, training partners.
I think that would be a good fight, Colby and
Yeah.
Woodley. That's what I want to see with Colby.
Yeah.
But that's if he, really, whether he wins or loses, you could still get him to fight Woodley because Woodley's not on top.
I'm
So-
picking Colby to win, man.
I know,
I'm
but
not
I'm
ready.
just saying.
I'm not ready for his. If he wins, I can't stand his post-fight speeches, man.
Yeah.
I can't stand them.
Yeah, I know. So I'm right there with you, man. So I just I want Usman to win, but I think whether or not Colby wins or loses, you could give him Woodley. Like
Yeah.
now,
Yeah. If he wins
like-
or loses, we can get that Woodley fight.
yeah, really and truly. So,
But me as a Woodley fan, I want him to get that title back.
yeah. I want Colby to lose.
Yeah.
I'd rather see Woodley fight Usman.
Oh, if Usman wins, don't get me wrong. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that myself, I'm going for Colby. I just feel like it's going to turn out in his favor.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now, like,
I'm not rooting for him, but
yeah. You're not. You just think he's gonna win.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I am with Cowboy.
Oh yeah.
And, yeah, Cowboy and Conor. Like, I ain't rooting for Conor, but I'm kind of afraid.
Yeah.
So, but I want Usman to win, and I want Woodley to fight again, win, and then get that Usman fight.
Yeah.
Then I think Woodley would start to. I think we'd see the old Woodley we had when he was getting his belt.
He said that, that's what he said. He said he found a new hunger that he's went back to doing stuff that, and a lot of people say that when they get their belt,
Taken.
yeah, kind of like with anything, once you set a goal and you reach that goal, you're like, oh, I made it, and then
You're
like,
just kind of there. What
yeah,
now?
you kind of got to treat it like there ain't a finish line in life. You know what I'm saying? A
Yeah.
finish line, once you get the belt, this isn't the finish line.
Yeah.
Same with a lot of stuff. But,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, and also, he got the belt, then he was still killing it when he got the belt. Like,
Yeah.
people was fighting him, he was killing it, then I think he just got bored, so he was doing the bare minimum, then he lost, and now I think we're going to see a new Woodley, so, I hope Usman wins, so we can see Woodley fight whoever he's going to fight, win, and then fight Usman again.
This is going to be an awesome card, though, like, to our listeners, y'all want to go watch this. Like, this is the most stacked card we've had in a while. Like, UFC 244 was stacked to a point, but this whole card.
Oh, without
And
a doubt.
I've been saying this, like, UFC 244, like, we had the BMF, we had Derek Lewis and stuff, but this is a more
good,
stacked card. I'm
Yeah.
not saying it will be.
better.
Yeah, it's probably going to be better. It's probably
hard
going
to
to
say.
be better.
Well, it's hard to say it's better because we've seen incredibly stacked cards be terrible cards. Like,
Yeah.
it all comes out to the fighter's performance because we've seen terrible cards be some of the best fights. Like that one a few months ago with that guy from Canada fighting that one dude who was doing backflips and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Like, that was a great fight. Then the little dude from Canada came out and won. I was excited for that. Like, but you never would have thought that. So it really comes out to fighter's performance. But it is expected for this card to be an incredible card.
Speaking of that guy, that Michael Pierre guy.
Michael Pierre was his
That
name.
was doing all those backflips. He just got announced for a fight, and I forgot to write it down. I wanted to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it long, just to mention it. He's fighting Diego Sanchez.
Oh, okay.
So that's going to be a good fight at 170. Kind
When
of
are they-
dangerous
when are
for
they
Diego
fighting?
Sanchez.
Not
I
in
can't remember.
January.
I think it's in February.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But that's gonna be a good fight. You got Michael Pierre coming out here doing backflips. He said he wasn't gonna change up his game. So, I mean,
He lost when he did his old game plan. That's so dumb.
Diego Sanchez is a good person to try that game plan with.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, you would think the last guy was a good person to do that game plan with, but
Oh,
he
yeah.
came out and won. Oh
Yeah.
god, dude, I was so excited for him. You would have looked at that guy and said, "You're never gonna win this
Yeah.
fight," and he won it. Oh my god, I was
That
so
was a
happy
good
for
fight,
him.
man.
It was a good fight.
That kind of woke us up.
Yeah. To show you really never know who's gonna win.
Yeah.
So, but you know, guys, I guess that's all. Unless you have any final regards.
Nope. Go out and watch this pay-per-view somewhere this weekend. It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah. Go out, watch it. You know, Fight Bros podcast has some big things in the works. I think Dana White wants to hire us.
Yeah.
Oh, just picking. Hope we
Yeah.
don't get sued over that either.
Check
Oh,
us out on YouTube and Spotify.
Yeah, message us on Facebook, whatever. We've been getting a lot of private messages. So, you know, let's you know, only if you really want to message us. But
Yeah.
no dumb messages. So, but thank you everybody.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.